Nidhogg is all about skill. There's no luck, no choice of characters or abilities to strategize over, just raw, split-second timing, simple stages that support complex tactics, and endless bouts of high-speed sword fighting. Nidhogg gives the same sense of competition usually limited to fighting game arcade cabinets in an accessible, stylishly presented package. With a stage-based single-player and online or local multiplayer, Nidhogg sets two players against each other in a side-scrolling environment, each with a sword. Your goal is to kill your opponent and run to their side of the screen. After pushing across a series of their screens, you get the joyful reward of being eaten by a mythical dragon and win the round. Then you do it again. It's simple stuff with a complex twist. The game lets you move, roll, jump, kick, stab or punch and adjust your sword's height. You can also finish off a kick-down player with your bare hands or throw your sword. Jump kicking a player will disarm them, but they might roll under your blow and stab you in the back. Throwing a sword could catch an enemy off guard, or they could deflect your flying blade, leaving you unarmed. Force an enemy to back up too close to an edge, and you can kick them into a bottomless pit. There are a remarkably broad number of ways to kill your opponent in Nidhogg, and you need to know them all if you want to outsmart your friends. You might have some success jump kicking an enemy again and again, but eventually they'll learn to swat you down. With good timing, you can even flick your blade up under an opponent, disarming them before mercilessly finishing them off with a quick stab. The masterstroke of Nidhogg's design is the right-of-way system. Once a player dispatches their opponent, an arrow flashes to show they can run for their enemy's side of the screen. Their foe must intercept them and kill them to get right-of-way back, or risk the winning player simply jumping over them and running for the dragon. A well-timed steal of right-of-way can easily turn the tide of an entire hard-fought game. The graphics are rough, 2D and simply coloured. Visuals pulse and glow, and the whole thing reminded us of a neon-painted Prince of Persia, the game that surely provided much of the inspiration for Nidhogg's 2D fencing action. You can explore 4 different 5-screen stages across a castle, fields, a mine, and a floating cloud island. The tactics required differ stage to stage. You can't jump in these shallow tunnels of the mines, whereas the dissolving platforms of the cloud stage require to be constantly moving. That said, Nidhogg isn't a big game content-wise. You'll know all of the stages within a few hours. It's the complexity of the combat that'll keep you coming back for more. We'd advise you try it out with a friend offline, as even slight latency makes the game unplayable thanks to extremely twitchy combat, and getting better at the game together with a friend ensures you have someone to shout at when they beat you and mercilessly mock when you smash them. Nidhogg could well be the best tournament game released in the last few years. Expect to see it as a regular feature at LAN parties and conventions. There's nothing better than watching 2 well-matched players battle for half an hour back and forth across a stage before finally stealing a victory from the jaws of defeat. If 2-player grudge matches are your thing, then the competitive quality of Nidhogg is some of the best we've seen since Street Fighter II hit arcades, and that was back in 1991. Nidhogg is smart. You might win once or twice with button mashing, but if you really want to excel, you'll need to learn how your opponent thinks and stay one step ahead of them. If you need a game that really lets you show your friends that you're a sharper gamer than them, go with Nidhogg.